The Strategic Data Project was founded 15 years ago with the mission to transform the use of data to improve student outcomes. Strong data work is critical to strategy, innovation, and improvement. Yet because so much of our data work happens behind the scenes, the work is easy to take for granted and can be difficult to share and celebrate. 4 years ago, we launched the Award for Strategic Data Excellence to celebrate these stories of success. And this year, for the 2024 award, we sought out projects from education agencies, institutions of higher education, and education organizations that demonstrated the use of data to advance justice for the student populations that they serve. We are pleased to announce the 2024 award goes to Madison Area Technical College. The path to post-secondary success is rarely smooth, especially for student parents who are juggling classes, childcare, and often work. We just cannot let these students leave college without a degree and with debt. Madison Area Technical College's use of data to provide support for often overlooked student demographics like student parents is a model for the sector. And we're particularly excited about the intergenerational economic mobility this project promotes. And we look forward to seeing what they do next, especially as they join the next cohort of the Strategic Data Project Fellowship. We want to congratulate Madison College and its team and look forward to the work ahead.
Madison College is in the capital of the state of Wisconsin. For the 2023-24 academic year, we are serving around 26,000 students with about 7,500 FTEs. The average age of our students is like around 27. So, when you have an average age of 27 for your student population, they're more likely to be parents at that, at that stage of of their life.
You're familiar with the term, a childcare desert, and that refers to the number of available childcare slots per children in that community for different age groups. And there are a shocking number of childcare deserts across the state of Wisconsin.
And so we know the intersecting identities of a lot of our students, but we didn't have any information on who was a student parent. Before you could really advocate for something systemic, you need to at least have a benchmark somewhere to talk from. So we were conducting the student satisfaction inventory at that time, and I spoke with the project team about, hey, why don't we just go ahead and put this additional question, to collect information from a tool that we're already deploying, a survey tool that will be going to all of our degree credit students, which is over like 10,000 of our students. And so we wanted to, pretty much get a benchmark. And so that was the initial data gathering that we did.
When you are invisible, so are your problems. So the data collection allows us to make them visible.
We serve about 23,000 credit students. And if we don't have some focus on student parents, with 40% of our population, then we're missing a large amount of the students.
And that's significant when it comes into the resources that we need and how we need to position ourselves as an institution in order to support our student parents on campus.
And so we started putting together a plan for how we were going to learn more about our student parents, try to provide better support, really help parents essentially get access to education and help them get into the workforce. Statistically, your student parents are some of your highest achieving students, and they're also the least likely to graduate. And so we know that investment in them is transformational for them, is transformational for their community. You're talking about generational change with this investment in your student parents. And because of Zong's amazing. She worked really hard both on the data side and then on the student-facing side to start collecting data about our student parents, because that was a big gap we had. And then from there, we were able to generate questions for our focus group.
One of our drives here at the college is to do more work with qualitative data, where we're collecting student voice and hearing directly from students about their experience at the college. And so for this project, my work was to help the group develop a focus group plan, conduct those focus groups, and talk to students to hear more directly from parenting students about their experience and what we can do to improve that experience at the college.
The student-parent voice is central to the process. We want to make sure that these spaces meet their needs rather than us making assumptions about what those needs are. So it's been incredible to get that feedback from our students and to have them engaged in the way that they have with the design and implementation.
My name is Darren Wellens, and I've been a student for about 3 years now, going part-time. I've got 2 kids. My daughter is 8 and my son is 7. You know, I graduated high school in 2008 and started working right after that, so I'm a little bit, there's an age gap between me and who I thought was going to be the majority of the students that were there, but after I started learning more about it and seeing that a lot of the students were just like me, it was a lot more eye-opening, and I felt a lot more included than I did when I first started.
So the initial impetus was to increase access to childcare as a way to support our student parents. But as we did the work, what we learned was that childcare is just a very small part of the challenge that our student parents face.
I think the time challenge is probably the biggest one for me. Dropping the kids off, and I like to make sure that I'm always there to pick them up from school. I don't want them to ever wonder what they're doing after school, so I like to be available for them and all the different sports and things that we do after school, and takes a chunk out of the time that I have available to do homework for myself.
When we think about childcare, there are 2 pieces in particular that we think about for our families. One of those is access. How do we make it accessible for students, student parents? Then there's the cost for childcare.
It also allowed us to look at policies, just overall children on campus policy within the particular facilities, but then also within the classroom, which helps to change this whole mindset.
Because it's just not about access. We can get them in. We've got to see how do we actually eliminate some of those barriers or minimize barriers. And that does take at the top. However, it doesn't stay there. It has to be embedded in the institution.
We're making progress by partnering and contracting with a family child care accreditation program. We've been able to extend, especially in our regional campuses, access to some family child care providers.
We were able to tap into a resource page that will give you, like, as a student parent, these are all the different resources we have at the college and also in the community.
We put in part of a position called the Student Parent Support Coordinator, and also resources for a baby basic needs closet or a diaper closet, if you will.
We have now pods that's basically dedicated to parenting students who might need to study, and it's individual spaces now that they can take their kids into that has different toys, books, things and things that a parent could utilize that can help to occupy their children while they also focus on their education, because they have to have their children with them.
One of the conversations we started having very early on is this is a 2-year cohort and it's going to end. And because we were fortunate to have some financial resources from the grant that we received, and incredibly fortunate to have the support of our executive leadership team and our college president, it was clear that if we were going to do this work, we wanted to do it in a way that was meaningful and had an impact and was sustainable.
It needs to just be another data element so that they can see, are our student parents, are they succeeding? As we mature, I hope that we'll be able to really see and assess, the success of our students who are parents on an ongoing basis. The next step is to actually create those dashboards for the Family U team so that they can see, are our student parents, are they succeeding? Are they being retained? Are some of the services that we are providing for them actually being leveraged by them? Or, is there gaps in, services to them and gaps in educational attainment?
You don't want to sideline this talent. When you have students that are as capable as our student parents, those are the students that, they're going to enter the workforce. They're going to be fantastic contributors to society, and they're going to demonstrate that for their children. And we know that that's a transformational impact on their kids. And having a college degree makes your kids more likely to get a college degree. And so, as much as we can highlight that, and and it's wonderful to be recognized, but it's really, for us, like, it's part of what we do.